Hey guys, so I woke up today and I realized, man, I want to make sure this thing looks a little bit more aesthetic. So, what do I mean by that? So, I already have this thing freaking organized. See? So, if you look at this, some people are gonna think this is crazy, okay? So, these are steps and these are extendable. So, I'll link it in the description later today. But this is white and gray. These are really great. I didn't even know that these were. This is how funny it was. Okay, so I got these right. I picked these up for free, and then I did not know these were expandable. So I had like some kind of box over here, and it wasn't until I wanted to purchase it. If you guys watch one of my streams where I said, "Man, my organizing rack is so short. Man, I need to get a bigger one." I looked at I think a container store. So and then I saw this and I was like, wait a second, is it expandable? So I had this for about 5 or 6 months, not knowing that instead of having a box here, I could have just expanded it. One of my not so bright moments, but this and this, right? White and gray matches with that. So the thing is that because the freaking thing is all crazy color, although it is organized technically, I felt like it wasn't premium because when you look at the colors over here, see that? It just looks like, what the hell? Like, I don't want to say hoarder territory, but kind of hoarder territory. So I'm going to try and change it so it looks a little bit more aesthetic. So first thing I'm going to do is just trying to clump things up. So we do have a few brands that are the same, Vitamin Shop, for instance. So I'm going to organize it by brands, aka top colors, and size as well. So this is, you can see, like over here, right? I could put the green and the green together. And this is something like I don't find to be too stressful. I've done actually this for quite some time, so yeah, wake up in the morning and organize. So let's see. The NyQuil, I don't even think the NyQuil is good anymore. Is the NyQuil good? No, the NyQuil's still okay. Okay. So let's put the NyQuil in the back because that isn't being used. Just saying. We'll put this, right? And let's put, I love it when I do a stream, that's when Clinton decides to make noise. Okay. So I have that can out. So people always ask, like, why do you have like a freaking cat can out? It's because after I put the food out, he likes to lick it. Yeah, let's see. So I'm not the fastest at this, and I wanted to do it live because some people they might have this like I have this really bad idea in my head where I look at stuff and I think like people are able to do it in their sleep so easily. And I had this problem for like a number of years where it's like I would think like I'm such a dumbass because I don't know exactly how to style. Like for instance, right? I'm not good at interior designing, and if I was an interior designer, I could do this stuff with my eyes closed. I would know exactly what looks good. But what I've realized is like you just got to keep experimenting. And people on YouTube make things look so flawless, so simple. And it's just like, of course, I can do this. Everybody can do this. Like, it's no problem. I don't struggle at all. I hate that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm doing this kind of thing and just giving you a freaking real breakdown of how long this takes me. So I have my stone free over here, right? And then let me put my vitamin D here. And then put this over here, this over here, this over here. See? Let's see. So I could pull this all out and do this all at the same size, but I rather just do it this way. See that? So my aspirin, probiotics, this little thing. And we could put the green stuff, I think, over here. Let's see. Should I put the green? So I want to put the iron over here. Is this about the same size? And then where's my other green one? You know what? Let me move this down because And we do have, I keep my Cokie tin. Do I have a Cokie tin in one? No, I don't have any more Cokie tin. Okay, so we got this, 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 this. I'm trying to either, see, that's on that side, and then one, this bottle's bigger, right, 1, 2, 3. I know it's like 2 different halves. So the reason why I have it on 2 different halves is because my stuff is mostly on this side. See? So I don't take too much stuff. Let's pull this out over here. The organizing doesn't take very long if you already kind of have it down. And then, let's see, we got a white bottle over here. And then this is when it starts looking a little crazy because, you know what, I'm going to put this over here. So we got a Cokie pen, this one over here. I don't like it like that. I'm just going to put that in the back. Yeah. This looks, I think this is just going to have to work. We're going to look at this and be like, oh my gosh, Erica. Isn't it funny? Like, I tried to space it out and I actually have less space now. Okay, so I'll put this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, how do I do this? See that? Kind of want to keep it like that. So we'll do orange, yellow, black. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Here's vitamin D. Yeah, so, and then I'm missing one here. By the way, in case you're wondering why my arm is shaking a little, because I never ate breakfast yet. I never ate breakfast yet, so my hand is shaking just a little. But I want to get this thing done. And I know people would say, Erica, freaking, it doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, you can see my hand shaking a little. Yeah, so I don't think that's bad. I think it looks a lot more organized than it did before. My personal opinion. And, oh wait, I missed one. My freaking shoes over here. Hell with it, I'm just going to put the chews off on the side. So I used to keep the chews over here. And I'm just going to keep it off on the side right there. And I should actually remove the label because it looks like it has a bit visual clutter. But you see that? That is basically it. So all I did, just to wrap it up, is I tried to make sure all the white labels are together. I did try to organize it by size. So, and then which one I'm using, which one I'm not really using. So the NyQuil and the cranberry tablets, I haven't really taken that in a bit. And then from here you can work on spacing. But it's not Perfect. But you figure, right? It's like even when you're using it throughout the day, it's not like when you put things down. Like I don't know about you guys, but when I usually, if I'm in a rush, I put it like that, right? But if I want to organize it, right, I could just work on it oh so delicately. And it's, I find like the small little details, that's what really adds up. So again, brands are put together, GNC, right? GNC is put together, Vitamin Shop is put together, and this was a mixture. Like I could have put all the greens together, but this basically half is like my side. So, right, I take this, and then almost every day. I'm missing a few supplements actually. I ran out of my grass liver, and then I don't have my fish oils anymore. But if I did want to put it over, like I would have to reorganize it. And yeah, but this is, I think, a lot more organized than it definitely did before. This is for kidney stones. I haven't had a kidney stone in a while, but I used to have a lot of kidney stones, especially if I had a lot of you want me to be honest? I had a lot of kidney stones when I was mostly plant-based. I think it's almost like all the vegetables or spinaches or something. So I haven't taken that in a while because I eat vegetables, but I eat a lot less than I used to eat before. So this kind of stuff, right? It doesn't cost anything, and it just takes a little bit of time. And this took me what, like 10 minutes to do? But I feel like it adds up, and it's really important because you pass by it every day, and if it looks cluttered, you're like, what the beat, man? Like you feel like you can do better. And yeah, it's not perfect because I have to add more supplements in here. Like I said, right, fish oil and my grass-fed beef liver is not on here. I have to reorder it, but other than that, it looks more harmonious and it doesn't cost anything. Keyword for organizers, if you can, stick, in my opinion, stick to white, stick to gray, stick to wood, stick to acrylics. I would not go with like the crazy print organizers because the more decoration you have, the more it looks chaotic. So I feel like it's important, like if you can, right? I would actually, if I could, I would just do everything acrylic because I really like acrylic. But problem with acrylic is a freaking cat hair magnet. So you see that really easily. And yeah, so I love organizers so much. But again, do not pick up organizers really unless you declutter first. Because if you get the organizer first and then you declutter, you might find that you actually don't want the organizer. But something like, a spice rack or this kind of thing, I think it's important to get. I would get an expandable one because, like, for some people, they buy like the small itty bitty one, and then later on they get more supplements or more spices, and then they realize, like, shit, I need to buy more. So, why not just buy an expandable one instead of having to limit yourself from like this section to this section? Is which is what happened. And I did expand this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, so you might be able to see it. It's expanded almost max setting. Yeah, so you see where my finger is right here. So I could have expanded it a little bit more, but I chose not to because I have the little box over here, and this is where our supplements are. So like Dayquil, this thing helps me a lot if I have cat allergies, and yeah, so I do try to keep things organized. See, and yeah, it's all a process. So it's like I worked at this stuff, and for some people, they might think like, wow, Erica, it took you like so long to figure this thing out. But yeah, it's like you organize and then you organize and then you organize on top of it. But small little steps, right? It works out really well. And I don't know how else I would organize this otherwise, because yeah, I want to keep it like this. I want to just organize this section for myself. So this is sometimes this is mine's, and then Lewis's one is basically everything else except this and this. So yeah, he has a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, so, and here's my arm again. You guys can see. Look at the freaking cat here. Nobody asked to see my arm, but my arm is nice. But yeah, this is, you see that cat hair? I don't know if you guys can see it. There's cat hair stuck on my arm. Yeah, freaking cat hair irritates the crap out of my arm. And that's why I have to just be really neurotic about freaking cleaning the cats. And it's just like, it's weird because it's like I'm combing the cats. I'm combing the cats. We have air filters, and it's like we still have so much freaking cat hair in the freaking air. And it's like, well, what do I do from here? Comb them even more? Yeah, so, oh my gosh, that kind of stuff. So yesterday my arm was like super itchy, and then I had to just I had to like rinse it with water, and then I added my favorite, as you guys know, my favorite little Evulsion. Oh, I love this thing so much. But yeah, my quality of life is so much better after this thing. So but yeah, I'm gonna try make one that's similar because they don't sell one in the United States. But it's nice because it's really nice and soft and soothing. But allergy trigger seems to be the freaking cats for sure. Because what changed yesterday night, or what changed when I get itchy? I look at my arm and I see cat hair. Skin scales, dander. You know, I'm spraying these cats like with dander spray every day. Did you know that? So I'm combing them and I'm spraying them with dander spray, and still having issues. And I vacuum the couch too. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of stuff over here. So, I hope this helps you guys out. I've seen like YouTube videos about organization, and I hate it. I really hate it when people say like, "Oh yeah, just get a spice rack and put things on here." And if you're wondering why your spice rack or your supplement rack doesn't look as aesthetic as other people's, just try to follow this, right? Try to follow capping by color caps. And I know that one's not the same, right? But you know, I freaking tall ass one over there. So and I rarely take that. So yeah, color of the caps plus color the, you know, size of the brands or same company, and you'll be much better off. If it makes it easier, you know, you can pull everything out and then put them all in a line, and then instead of, you saw how I shuffled it around, but I didn't feel like shuffling. I didn't feel like pulling everything out and then doing it that way. I would recommend though, check the Best Buy dates, because you might end up with like something that's old. So yeah, like this one's okay. For mine, it's like I'm constantly taking them, so I know I don't have to worry about expiration. But like something like this. See, like this one is Best Buy 620, so we could technically get rid of that. I don't think it's toxic. I think it just loses its efficacy. Yeah. So this one seems to be okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't think you'll have an allergic reaction, but this is not medical advice. This is just my opinion. And yeah, Lewis takes that. I don't take that stuff. Or he used to take it. Look at this. We had a vitamin D here. Isn't that funny? Look at that. Okay, so this one I think I can get rid of. Like 2019. We already have freaking, where's our vitamin D's here? Vitamin D's and vitamin D over there. So I can get rid of the Trader Joe one. And Advil's okay. What is this? 522. Prebiotic, I'm sure is fine. Advil PM. What the hell? Look at this. 1115. Yeah, this can definitely go away. See, so when you don't have that much stuff, it becomes so much easier to declutter. And the funny thing is that I've actually decluttered this before. So, yeah, I've actually decluttered this before. So, yeah, that's just two things that I'm going to get rid of over here. And let's just move this up. I'm going to move this up. See? That looks a little bit well spaced. So, one thing that I noticed about like decluttering or aesthetics is, you know, when you go to like a fancy store, for instance, like let's say the Apple store, you know how they don't have things all like bunched up together? They have it like beautifully spaced. And what I mean by that is like, let's take this out, for example, okay? People are gonna look at this. But like what they'll do is that you see how like I have, yeah, don't look at that part. You see how I have it like this? If you go to like an expensive store, you ever notice how they have it like more space? That they're like, okay, we'll have one right here, or one over here, or like one over here. You know, they'll just like space it out even more, so it looks more aesthetic. You guys know what I'm talking about. See, like that? Like imagine if this was just one rack, right? Oh yeah, they'll space it even out a little bit more. Okay, like that-ish, right? So the reason why they do that is that it's more, it has more negative space and it looks more, it doesn't, it looks more visually pretty. So for me though, right, it's like I try to keep that thing in mind. And I think that's why minimalism, you know, some people are really drawn to minimalism because you make more use of that negative space. But, you know, do I think, you know, do I think that it's right, you know, to have that kind of, so I would say yeah, you know, try to do that as much as you can because it looks nice. But there's a fine line between there's a fine line between making sure it looks aesthetic and then also sticking to function, because yeah. So then when you do the labels, you should have it like perfect, but mine's is not perfect, and that's okay. Yeah, I was looking online and I was saying like, yeah, some people say like when you go to some certain grocery stores, you know, like the higher end ones, you ever notice how like the labels are just so perfect? It's like they have like the staff on point and they're like, you gotta make it perfect because we're gonna spend like, you know, we want to sell these expensive stuff. And yeah, so this, I'm gonna drop this off to a pharmacy and then they can dispose of it that way. But other than that, you know, I do think it looks a lot nicer than it did before. And this orange cap sticks out like a sore thumb. If I take it away, you see, you don't really notice it. But once I put this in, oh, not a fan of that orange cap. But what can you do? It definitely looks a lot calmer than it did before. I don't want to sound like one of those like freaking generic minimalist kind of people who is like, oh, you know, you just gotta focus on making sure that you don't have anything that's overtly stimulating kind of thing. But it's true. It's true. Like when you notice it, that freaking orange cap just is kind of like, oh, doctor's best. Jeez. How much do I have of this thing anyway? Oh, I have quite a bit. I have quite a bit. So we take about, Lewis and I take one a day, so we have about 3 months of this orange cap thing around. And I don't feel comfortable. Like I know some people will be like, well, why don't you repot it in like a standardized jar? I'm like, I don't want to do that with freaking vitamins because yeah, it's not worth it. Cobalt? I'm not taking cobalt. What? You mean iron? I'm not taking iron. Yeah, I don't take iron. I take I take basically vitamin D and zinc mostly, and then a spirulina tablet. That's all. But I think if you're talking about like iron, yeah, Lewis was taking that because Lewis was vegetarian, right? So I was telling him, I was like telling him, I said, you know, you gotta, and this is one of those things. Like I was telling him, I said, um, like, yeah, one thing about if you're like vegetarian or you're vegan, right? You're concerned about your iron levels. And I know I'm gonna have some people over here and be like, no, Erica, that's not true. You can get so much B12 or you could just take a supplement. But I don't want to get too into it. But I felt like, yeah, I felt like he was kind of low on iron. So I told, you know, that's why he was taking an iron pill. But he doesn't really take an iron pill as much anymore. He does eat lamb and beef and chicken, and I have to say though, I think he does look healthier. I think he looks more healthier, more radiant ever since he started eating meat again. I noticed like for me, like if I don't eat meat, I start looking really freaking pale. But even when I was like a low meat eater, when I had blood samples done, they told me like I was borderline anemic. So Yeah, I eat meat, I eat fish, and I don't think I have anything to worry about my iron level. But if I did, right, good to get the iron level up. And yeah, so this is the stuff that we take. The stuff that I take, it's just gonna run through it. I take the vitamin D because of my skin. I feel like, yeah, I don't mind it. I take 5,000 IUs of D3 a day, and some people might say, some people would say like, oh, it's okay to take that much. Other people would say it's a little high, but this is listed as a maximum strength. See that? And I got this off of Amazon. We're over here. You know what's crazy? Like, I never realized how much supplements actually have gelatin in there. Do you see that? Gelatin, gelatin, gelatin. So that's another thing too. Like, if you're a vegetarian or you're a vegan and you want to stay away from gelatin, then you got to get like vegan. Make sure the vegan safe and vegetarian safe. And I'm like, fuck, I want to buy a supplement. I don't want to have to deal with the freaking gelatin stuff. I just want to buy like the stuff, that I want to get like from the grocery store, not like hyper focused, like, okay, what's in here, that kind of stuff. But yeah, like this stuff, can you imagine, right? I know this is gonna sound funny, but like, can you imagine you buy this B12 from Vitamin Shop, right? And then you think like, you look in the back and you're like, oh crap, let's say and then you realize, right, it has gelatin in there, and you say, no, I can't buy it because it has animal product in that thing. I'm like, fuck. So that's just me being me over here, and just, I don't, maybe they could use something else besides gelatin. I don't know why a lot of pills have gelatin in them, but yeah, if you're vegan or vegetarian, it's like you're kind of SOL sometimes if you go to a grocery store, because yeah, like a lot of multivitamins, right? Like, how many times do you see a vegan multivitamin? Not too much. Gelatin is great. Lots of that. I don't have any problem with gelatin personally. But some people, they don't eat gelatin, or they don't eat gelatin because it's a byproduct of what, animal bones. And I get it. I get it. I get why people don't want to eat gelatin, but my thinking is like, it's an animal waste product. People are gonna say this is so insensitive, but I just think like it's an animal waste product. Just use what you got. And yeah, I don't understand the whole hoopla about it, unless maybe you're allergic about it. It's like, if you don't have it, well, what are you gonna be doing? You're just gonna be sending the animal waste product straight to the landfill, because it's like, I don't want to eat it, that kind of stuff. And I like I said, I get it, but I don't. It's like, if I had to think about animal ethics, I would say the animal already died. They use the meat because, dogs, cats, humans. And what's the downside about the gelatin? It's like, at least you're preventing more stuff going into the landfill. So, but I get it. I get it um why people just stray from gelatin. But I just think it's like, yeah, I don't see anything really wrong with it. And I've seen the images of it. Like, some people would say, you won't eat gelatin if you see like the harvest, how it's processed. And I'm like, yeah, I've watched it. I think it's not a bad thing. If you want to talk about like how things are harvested, right? Let's talk about let's not just talk about gelatin, right? Let's talk about deforestation. Let's talk about, what's happening with like the Amazon rainforest and palm oil and stuff like that. People go for that kind of stuff. I'm personally, I don't try to buy palm oil, because I think like, even though the palm tree, palm fruit, produces a lot more oil than other oils, it's not good. It's not good for the environment. So I try to stick with, let's say, I try to stick with either like avocado oil, or some people are gonna give you crap about this, butter or lard or tallow. And I just go that route instead. And yeah, I don't like buying cheap vegetable oils. I find if I eat cheap vegetable oils, then I feel like crap. So I try to stick away from deep fried foods, and I go with air fried instead. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of greenwashing with certain things. I understand it. Like people want to be, they want to think that they're helping the environment and everything like that. But there's a fine line. There's a fine line between, are you adding, are you helping reduce the amount of waste going out there, or are you just adding to more possibly, deforestation kind of thing, depending on what you get. But yeah, that's just my take on it. And of course, right, if whatever you do, you guys should be recycling. Recycle your bottles and your your bottle caps and that kind of stuff. By the way, so as a person who does see like trash from like not residential but like pharmacies and stuff, when you drop off these kind of bottles, do you know what happens to them? They just like they throw these things out. I don't know if it actually gets picked up by recycling or what, but yeah, they throw it out. Actually, wait, I take that back. I think they do recycle it. Some places recycle, but I don't know if it is actually recyclable or not. Hard to say. Hydrogenated soybean is vegan, but yeah, I'd stay away from the soybean oils. I try not to eat too much soy products. I try to limit it. I rather just go with like instead of like soy, I rather just go with actual meat or vegetables instead. But I do eat soy. I do eat soy. Just make sure I don't go overboard on that kind of stuff. I think I'm just so tired of eating tofu at the moment. It's just like when I look at tofu, I'm like, oh joy, joy to the world. It's tofu again, and this is coming from a person who like so much freaking tofu, soy, vegetarian substitutes. Remember that when we were going crazy with the Gardein? I have zero desire to eat Gardein, you guys. It's like I look at Gardein, I'm like, oh, frick, that stuff again. So, yeah, I just, like, I get it, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's just so much freaking processed foods. And yeah, I'm gonna stick with my breakfast. Lewis usually eats eggs for breakfast, and I'll eat. Let's see, what do I eat for breakfast? I eat rice cakes with sardines and then avocado. Sometimes avocado, sometimes I don't. It depends if my avocado is soft or not. And then I'll throw it down mostly with a banana and then add my supplements in there too. So, actually, since I am, where's my supplement container? Oh, I have my supplement container. Yeah, I might as well show you guys what I take. So this is it's actually a candle jar, but I like it because it's much prettier than the average pill jar. So I will take 6 spirulinas. I'll link it all in the description below later if you guys are curious what I take. Or maybe I just do a separate stream. And then, so this helps me immensely with the cramps. I'm waiting for my period. I don't know where the hell my period went. It's like, it's like not there. TMI, maybe. And then I'll take 4 of these garlic pills. I take them honestly because I don't want bug bites. And people say it works. I don't know if it works, but I haven't got bit by no-see-ums. So, and I don't see any no-see-ums. And then I'll take one of these vitamin D3s here. It's 5,000 IUs. And then I'll take one astaxanthin. Hawaiian astaxanthin, by the way. And then I'll take one CoQ10. And then I'll take one zinc. And you know what? Let's see. Let me take one of these vegan multivitamins. You ever saw the vitamin content on these things? Like, look at this. There's like all sorts of things on here. Vitamin A, vitamin C, D2, E, B1, B2, folate, biotin. Biotin. 25% of biotin. Calcium, manganese, zinc, that kind of stuff. It's just a whole load of stuff. take it. And that is it. That is, and usually I have fish oil and I usually have the beef liver, but I ran out of it. I forgot to reorder. So I'll take all my pills in this nice little container. It actually incentivizes me to take my pills when I have it in a pretty container versus if I don't. I noticed that if it looks kind of bummy like, right? Like if I put my pills in something like this instead, I'm not going to look forward to it. But if I keep it in, this is a tea light holder. A tea light holder, it just looks prettier, doesn't it? I was so happy when I found these. I was like, oh my gosh, these are perfect. I can use them with my whole thing. And the other great thing about having it like this is that, you know, when you drop the pills in, right? It doesn't drop out. See? Let me see. See? I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, it doesn't drop out. Or if I had it on a plate, it might. So that's why I just keep it that way. Yeah. So, let's see over here. Oh, tallow fries. Yeah, I want to try it. I have not tried tallow fries in my life, but I do have tallow. We have a bunch of tallow over here. I heard that, what was it? McDonald's used to be made out of beef tallow, yeah. But yeah, where have I tried fries? That maybe have I tried fries that have beef tallow on it? I can't remember. Maybe Five Guys with beef tallow. Maybe can't. I think I might have tried it, but I can't really remember. But I try to stay away from a lot of fried foods now. So I'm gonna go and eat breakfast. It was great chatting with you guys. I wanted to have a really short video, but obviously that didn't happen. I gotta make like I gotta like cut my footage and make it really freaking short for you guys. But this is what happens when you try to make a video and then you end up like chatting with y'all, and then when I do that, it's like, oh, I see it. I'm like, frick, it's a 37-minute video again. So yeah, and I do have another video that might get posted in a couple hours. YouTube takes forever to load the video, and I was just talking about organizers. If you want a sneak peek, this is the organizer. See that? So I did add in this like long organizer, and yeah, so it's looking a little bit more organized. It definitely is not perfect, but see that? See, that looks less chaotic than it did before. This stuff, I've organized this thing several times. If you guys look, I even have a container for the freaking lids. See? So I don't know how much more I can organize. There's our cleaning stuff. And then here is other stuff that I just can't put in a freaking drawer or anything because we don't have storage space. So it looks chaotic, and that freaking Chillerito is like triggering me because it's so freaking bright and red that I want to just like take it away, but I actually use that pretty often. Yeah, I love Chillerito. It works great. I still haven't tried this yet, but like this freaking beautiful, big, beautiful mango. See how big this is? It's gonna be glorious with my tahini and my Chillerito. Oh, I love that so much. I love mango, and that's one thing I love about summer season. So I use a lot of this stuff, and I think it's after, you know, that, remember when I did that one stream and went to that one place where there was this globe or something, and then there was some sort of Mexican mango seller. I think they're Mexican mangoes. I think that's what you call them. Mexican Tajín Chillerito slash lemon juice kind of thing. Like, it was so freaking good. When I got home, I thought like, oh my gosh, I gotta buy all that stuff. So yeah, I bought it, and since then I have been eating a lot of that freaking a lot of mango. It's turned into my #1 fruit. Yeah, so yeah, and there's my coffee section, and I'm gonna make milk tea today. I shouldn't be drinking milk tea, but I wanted to drink it because I haven't had milk tea in a really long time. So that's just sugar. That's just sugar, and I don't have milk on me, so most likely I'm just gonna use Coffee Mate, which is what a lot of like milk tea places use anyway. And yeah, just play around with it. Sugar. I try to stay around from sugary drinks, so I don't mind drinking things like I'm trying to stay away from coffee too, but I haven't been very good at it. But I try to stay away from sugary drinks, which is funny because it's like Yeah, I try to stay away from it because I think like I don't want to add like directly put into sugar in my food. But yeah, what do I do? You know, what do I do? It's like I tried the sugar substitutes, but that didn't go very well at all, and was not too happy with yeah, like the sugar substitutes are okay, but they're not as good as real sugar by far. I haven't found a good sugar substitute, and I was looking for a lot when I was on freaking keto, yeah. Um, but my life, you know, my life before keto and after keto, I gotta say, it's really great not being. It's really like, how do I say this? Like, I feel like I'm packing on a little bit more weight, not being on keto, but and I try to go lower carb, but I've just had this like mentality. I was like, you know what, Erica, if you want to eat the freaking bread, like I ate pita bread yesterday. I had a gyro, yeah, gyro. It was nice. It was like glorious freaking bread, and I'm breaking out a little, but I was like, you know what, it's okay. It is okay, Erica. Your bread is fine, and yeah, it's just I love food so much more because there's so much more offerings if you don't go low carb. Just being real here, right? Like you can, it's like, can you imagine just going to a restaurant and then saying like, let's say you go to a teppanyaki restaurant, right? Like you think they're gonna have cauliflower rice? Like hell no, they're not gonna have cauliflower rice. They're gonna give you regular rice, and then yeah, you could eat like half the rice or so. But I can't go to, let's say, a sushi place and then be like, oh, excuse me, yeah, I don't want you to put rice. I want you to cook my cauliflower rice so I can go on full carb. So I try not to eat too much rice, but when I do eat rice, it's glorious. It is freaking amazing. And cauliflower rice is pretty good, but the taste of real rice is much better. Yeah, and freaking my skin is so much better too. And yeah, I think it's like I think I can't, like I said, I can't tell you definitively what cleared up my skin. I think it's a combination of things. I think it's a combination of me upping my carbs. I really believe that because it was getting worse when I was lowering my carbs. Combination me upping my carbs plus possibly supplementing with the vitamin D3s and the zincs, and then also trying to reduce the cat hair. But keep in mind, right, I was living with the cats for a long time, and it's like I didn't start breaking out with all this stuff until after about a year later. So for it to get that bad, I don't blame it on the cat hair. I think it's something else. It gets irritated more with cat hair. So yeah, my skin has definitely got more sensitive though. Even right now, like my skin can look okay, but if I have, let's say, a synthetic, my skin will get itchy and it'll start flaring up. So I'm in 100% cotton right now, unsurprisingly. And yeah, so I gotta eat dinner. I mean, not dinner. I gotta eat breakfast. I gotta drink water. I don't have my water bottle with me. My water is like somewhere freaking else, and that's why my voice is sounding a little dry. I don't want to be like freaking Eugenia, where she doesn't drink any water at all. So I will talk to you guys later, and yeah, you guys take care. See ya.